Hello and welcome to another heads up. Here we have Jack 5. Obviously I hate Jack 5s, but they are suited. We will see bet on a pretty dangerous board and see what he does. He falls, so we didn't have a high club or hit this. You just see betting on dangerous boards on the deal button when it checks to you probably means, especially since he fold, it probably means he's a bit of a passive player. But we will soon find that out. He just limps on the button. We have Jack Queen offsuit, obviously pretty good hand, but here I'm just trying to get information on how he plays. We're basically playing the board seeing as we have the queen and he had ace high. So I basically pay there because I want to have the information of what he did. I mean, we with ace high probably would have bet there. We have ace 3 and this time he does call. We do have a flush draw with it, so we'll check. And if he leads out here, we obviously fold. Yep. So I think I have to respect every bet of him that is not that kind of a bluffer, especially seeing as he folds the deal button here. And have to think about why he bets, why he calls, what the idea behind that is. So here we bet c-bet again, and the second time, 2 out of 3 he folded to it. Once on the very dangerous board though. So Jack 10, not something I like bluffing on, especially not like this. He can have it, especially if he overbets it. A6, obviously really good. We totally missed that, but we still have an ace as an out, and he folds again, so that's 3 out of 4 to the c-bet that he folds. And always he limps, so we hit the king. He checks. We'll lead out now. See what he does. Yeah, he folds. So if he checks on the flop and we lead out, if the turn is a useless card, he will probably take the pot. So here we'll check once. I mean, the 5 isn't gonna make a difference, right? And he checks to me twice, so he should fold here. He doesn't. So he checks to me twice and folds and calls there with ace high. That's pretty interesting. So yeah, I probably c-bet previously. Here we have bottom pair, which is probably still good. It should still be good. Yep, it is. So if he c-bet on the flop, he might have been gone. But we want to make a delayed c-bet because we can't c-bet all the time. Harry checks to me twice, so we would just call with anything. Jack 6, I wouldn't have even called with it. Free flop. 6 deuce, we miss, so we're gonna give it up. I mean, we hit the deuce, so we got there, but I don't want to bet. I only get called by a better hand anyway. 4 deuce, but this time on the button, and he does fall to it. Queen 3, he just limps on the button every single time. He hasn't raised pre-flop a single time, and he just checks it so often. Obviously this is a really dangerous board. If you lead out, you get it. Yep, I would have called you with ace high, I think. I might have called him with ace high. Might have called him with a pair. And yet again he folds to the standard button raise. I did have a strong hand though, and here I do again. So ace 10, he makes the call. We hit our ace, hope he bets, he doesn't. Let's lead out ourselves now. Hope he doesn't have a flush draw, and he folds to it. He probably put me on the ace because that's the very first time I raised pre-flop. He's playing really passive. So yeah, let's just check, see what we hit. We got nothing. Neither did he. He checks to me twice, but it's a very dangerous board, and 10 high might be good. 10 high isn't good. He actually hit 4, so I would have called on the turn anyway. 5-4 off in the button, which he folds to yet again. I think I should see more flops. Obviously I'm losing here, so I'm not losing by a lot though, but I mean I am losing, so it's not up to me to criticize this guy. I'm not gonna call this time. Ace 8, obviously a decent hand. We do hit our ace, so we'll make a c-bet. He does call. The king pair, so the chances of him having a king is pretty low, so we'll lead out again, and he folds to it. So it's really hard to get value from these kind of guys, basically because yeah, obviously I'm calling after 2 overs. That's a pretty scary card. We still have 2 overs, which are good. 6 dudes on the bottom. So yeah, it's pretty hard to gain value from guys like this. So he leads out against me, and I have bottom pair. So I will fold then. I mean, this is the very first time he does it, so I have to respect it there. And he folds his dual button, not even limping. I mean, I obviously do that with some hands as well. A7, we have an overcard, so we'll just bet out here. See what he does. He folded. He just limps yet again. We basically have to make runner straight. We hit the queen, which I think is good here, so we'll see. He re-raises me. Pretty interesting and pretty high. So we hit the queen, a king beats us, we're obviously calling, and he had the nuts. So yeah, he hit his gut shot. That's interesting though. That's why I mean that I have to improve my play there, because basically I had to read that he probably had something really good. The board pairs, so I think if I lead out here again, he should fold. Yep, he does. But I mean, even if I paid him up there, his passive play is costing him. I mean, I always say against aggressive player, if you have followed the series, against aggressive players, I'm saying, yeah, they play too aggressive, it's not good for them, you play against it like this. And then against the passive player, I'm saying, yeah, playing passive is not good. I mean, both have their up and downs, right? I think my king high is good here, by the way. So we'll check. I will just check it out here if he does check. He bet 60, so we'll call, and he did hit the 10, so obviously he called there. I thought my king high was good and that the rest of the cards didn't matter. So both have their ups and downs. Obviously, if you're a passive player, it's easy for the opponent to put you on a hand, have an idea what you have, and can throw away hands, especially if you never throw a bluff in there. Like me here, if you never throw a bluff in there, it's pretty easy for people to just bully you around, take pots they don't deserve to take. We'll check re-raise if he does anything. He doesn't, so we'll lead out here, and he makes a call. We'll check call, but he paid us off, so yeah. But because if you play passive, yeah, I'll fold check 3. If you play passive, that gets punished, so just your passive play. But if you play too aggressive, it gets punished playing the board. So I'm not gonna call you. If you play too aggressive, you're gonna pay off too much. Just a heads up, especially, is about analyzing your opponent, trying to figure out what your opponent is like, how your opponent plays, and just abusing that. So obviously queen deuce is not that great of a hand. We do have queen high, but we get a queen high straight, so we'll lead out here. Only ace queen beats me at this point, and he folds. So I mean, stuff like that. Sometimes if I do have something, I'm willing to call, like a bet of 35, just to gain the information. Here we gain an open ender, so I'm willing to bet it. He does call, and we do miss our open ender, so we'll just check and see what he called with. He called with the 7. So yeah, at middle pair on the flop, obviously he's calling. He folds to ace queen on the deal button, sadly. 9 deuce suited though. Totally miss. Totally miss. He checks to me twice. Yeah, he makes a insane overbet, but he can't have it. Pocket 8, so we're obviously raising here. I still think we're good. I still think we're good. I mean, we do have an open ender with our hands, right? And now we make a set, but it's a bit of a dangerous board. A 6 beats me, a jack beats me, but I guess I have to call here, right? And he did have the jack. Wow! That's so annoying, right? 10-9, we make 2 pair, hope this guy pays us off, or doesn't make a straight this time. I mean, 4 to a straight on table is pretty dangerous even with a set. Might have misplayed that, so The 4 doesn't matter here, neither does the king, so he's just gonna give me the pots. So yeah, that's something I have to improve in my own gameplay. When people yeah, I'm all in with King Jack, man. He has pocket 8, so we have 2 overcards. And we do not get... Yeah, we get there, we get a Jack. It's nice. Yeah. So we're back in business, I guess. It's a coin flip, we have to take at that point. We do hit 2 pair here. And he folds. So what was I saying? I have no clue anymore. Deuce 10, we had hit bottom pair. Might not be good anymore, especially not now that this hits. And he leads out on it. Nope, I'm gonna fold it. So yeah, that's something I need to improve in my gameplay. I think I make the perfect read twice on him, but I do pay him off. And it costs me an insane amount of my stack. So here he calls me twice. Or at least once, not twice. So I think he has a flush draw. Or he hit a ace as well, he probably would have paid more. But despite our losses somehow, I'm back in it. We flop a flush, and we lead out for the very first time, I think. And he folds. We get jacks. Jacks are probably still good, so let's bet. Hope he calls with an ace high, he doesn't. So we're back in the lead, while after being down for quite a bit. We get bottom pair. We still only have bottom pair, so we'll lead out this time, and he folds. Deuce 3, but we do have the button. He makes the call. We totally whiff, so we'll check. We still totally whiff, so we'll check. We have nothing. I just want to see the information. Yeah, he has Deuce 9. He obviously would have folded anywhere where I bet, but it wouldn't have mattered anyway. I mean, I have Deuce 3, not willing to risk the chips there. Check. But this guy doesn't seem like he's the slow playing kind of guy. He just plays the hands he makes. So yeah, man, whatever you want. If you want to overshove for a pot of 80, you can have it. I mean, stuff like that, if it's a way more aggressive player, sometimes I'm willing to call him with basic trash. We hit our king on the end. He does bet 80, so he probably has a flush. Oh, I had 2 pair. Wow, I didn't notice. Wow, I'm so sorry. I actually didn't notice that I had something. That I had something really good. I should have re-raised. Nah, I probably wouldn't have re-raised anyway. So here our queen high might be good. Depends on the bishop. Actually, it's the same hand. Queen jack on the bottom, pretty good hand. A 10 makes us the nuts, right? So we'll bet for it, and he folds. So we're back in the lead. We have an ace here, and he just keeps on limping on the button. So we'll check, see what he does. Still check, the 5 doesn't make a difference. Still check, ace high might be good, especially if he checks. He bets pot size, which he can have for me. I'm not willing to pay an extra 80 just to call him with an ace high, especially seeing how tight he is. At least how tight he has been playing in general. Yeah, we'll make a c bet here. Sometimes I don't, sometimes I do. The 3 doesn't make a difference, so even if I make a c bet, he doesn't believe me, and I'm only playing the board, so obviously I give up that hand. Queen 10 though, pretty good hand. He just calls, but he did take a while for it. We do have cut shot of a jack. Queen high might be good here. We pair our 10s, so let's see what he had. He had jacks. Wow. Wow, yeah, I thought he was slow playing a big hand, seeing as he waited so long pre-flop. I was trying to say that, but then started commentating on the hand. It's pretty hard to do that as well, especially something so fast-paced as this. That while playing, you have to start saying one thing, and then something happens, and you jump on that, but you lose the track of the other thing. It's something obviously to work on, just on commentating. He checks here to me, pretty fast check. He checks again, probably ace high is good. Nope, he hit his deuce on the turn. Ace 10, yeah, let's just check and slow play it. We flop 2 pair. Let's hope he has a king. So we'll bet 55 here. He makes the call. We'll check, hope he bets, and make the call. He doesn't. But I mean, I don't think he would have given us any other value. Obviously, if you have the button, you can get a lot more value because it looks like a c-bet, stuff like that. When you lead out of position, that's why position is so important in poker, because you can control the pot size yourself, while else when you're first, you're actually at the whims of the opponent, the player behind you to control the pot size. Yeah, obviously we have ace queen. We'll call here. We'll fold here. I mean, ace queen is good, but not if he leads out that much, especially seeing as how passive this guy was previously. He probably had a big hand. A10, we obviously want to see a flop with it. We totally miss, so we're giving this up. Yeah, man, we're giving this up. I just said it. Aren't you listening? 8-7 suited. Well, I want to see a flop. So now we're behind at this point, but it has been going pretty interesting. He 3-bets once more. He leads into me once more. That's twice. So he starts picking up his aggression. Probably when he has really big hands that he does that, because he also folds a lot. It's a bit odd. 5-7, obviously we want to see a flop. He checks to me, so here we will see bit. We have been playing passive, so he should respect it, and he does. 7 jack. Let's just check, see what the flop brings. The flop brings nothing. Flop still brings nothing but an open ender, which we do not hit, so he actually had the same hand. His was suited though, so I had double flush draws. Nah, just kidding. So that's not the first time he does this. He probably has an ace. He probably doesn't have an ace here. He bets 680. That's really odd. Why would he do something like that? That's not the first time he does it, and I'm just calling with... he probably has pockets or something. I should have re-raised somewhere to see where I stand. King 10. Obviously checking here. Hit the king, check, re-raising. Still check, re-raising. Still check, re-raising. But she pays me off. Yep, thank you. Thank you for the chips, man. I mean, that was the third time he does something like that. That's the fourth time. So he's picking up his aggression, which I have to respond to. We obviously missed this. Well, the king doesn't make a difference, nor for me, nor for him. So yeah, he makes a pot size bet. A bit too much. Might have been a missed flush draw. Doesn't matter. 4-6. We have nothing. So I'm not willing to risk any chips at this stack size. So there's one point where we have to start shoving with some hands, especially seeing as the blind just raised. King Jack might be such a hand. He just calls. We hit top pair, so we'll lead out. If he shoves, we obviously call. I think we fold Queen 3 here. 5-4, he folds this time though, which I don't mind. 9-3, we will make the standard, and he does fold to it. So now I'm just mixing it up, not making the standard plays anymore. Let's just check with Queen deuce. 1 overcard, so we're not... I mean, the flop isn't kind to us here. Yeah, he had the king, so... King 9, obviously a hand I'm willing to shove as well. Ace 10, so we'll raise it up. We hit top pair, so we'll bet 125. This is the second time we've done this, so he might not give us the respect we but he does. So I think next time we can't do it with a bluff. So here we have a gut shot. He calls us. We do hit a better pair than on the board previously, so I think we have him. Yeah, we do. King Queen, obviously wanna see a flop with it, but it's pretty good. Check re-raise in case he does something. An ace comes, so we'll bet 75. Ace is a bit of a scare card though, but I mean, we can't always give him credit for that, right? Ace on the button, he re-raises, so he should lead out here. He does. That's the 5th time he does that, by the way, so I might 4-bet him in the future when I have an ace. and see what it does to that. And with 4-bet I really mean a heavy 4-bet. Second 4 comes, not a big deal. We basically have to pair with 10 high, but we can't call that. 3-8 on the button though, so we'll make the standard bet. Let's make it 125, see what he does. He does fold to it. 6-Jack, something I hate, but he folded. 3 deuce, but they are suited. Let's raise it to 200 here. So this is what I mean, I'm finally, yeah, and he leads out yet again, so here we'll raise it to 175. We have showed the pre-flop aggression. So I think he bluffs those hands, but there's no way I can do anything, right? I just have to wait for a really good hand and then shove it in his face. Something like that. Because that's the 5th time he does it. He can't always have something good, right? He just isn't willing to give up on his aggression on those heads, I think. He just says, here I pick my spot and I go all aggressive. And yeah, it's gonna cost him in the future, or it should cost him in the future, when I finally do make a really good hand. So we'll raise it up. We're down 2-1, so not really that great. We hit an open ender. We hit our queen, but an ace or 9 is really good here, and he knows that. Basically sad that we hit our queen on such a board. Ace 3, if he 3-bets me here, I'm obviously re-raising him. He folds. Yep. So we're slowly grinding ourselves up again. He folds. Slowly but steady, people. Slowly but steady. 10-7, he leads out. And he always leads out so fast, which is a bit annoying. He makes the call. We have ace king. Let's call. See what he has. He hates a 10. No, we don't get there. I mean, actually has a straight, so I was drawing it there. So yeah, he played really aggressive some hands, and I didn't make a hand to get it. I think I played decent, probably some mistakes here and there by paying him off when he played passive. But that's my own fault, so I'll see you for the next one.